Hey Peter, how's it going?
It's going great. How are you, Emily?
I'm doing well. It's good to see you today. I am so excited to hear about your song for our Bushwick Book Club show this Saturday. All original music inspired by Noviolet Bulawayo's Glory. What drew you to wanting to write for this book?
Honestly, when I saw in the description that had parallels to Animal Farm, that kind of just like snapped me in right away because that's
Okay.
just one of my favorite books.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Um, so yeah, that was kind of the initial kernel, and then the more I read about the book, I kind of just figured it would be something I would enjoy,
yeah.
which I very
And
much did.
okay, I was gonna ask you, and now that you've read the book, what was your, yeah, do you enjoy it as much as Animal Farm?
Um, it's interesting in comparison. I mean, I think it's a lot more complex, and it's intriguing to me that it is based on an actual historical event.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I really liked it. I thought it was really funny.
yeah.
Like it's so absurd. I mean, aside from the fact that like it's animals running a government, like there's so much absurdity in it that you kind of get like lulled into this like acceptance of this false reality, and then you're kind of reading it, and these things are flying by you, and there's like so many times where I had to stop and go back and be like, did I just read that correctly? And you kind of just like find yourself like reminding yourself how ridiculous like
The
all of it kind of is.
absurdity of it. Yes.
Um, which ironically is kind of how I feel reading the news these days sometimes. So it
Yeah.
was it was a little like unnerving in that sense.
Yeah. I had to take breaks from it. Honestly, there were things that like I know it's like bombastic and absurd, but also like those parallels and those the things that I don't know. It some of it's hard to read. Very hard
It
to
was
read.
like, yeah, it's like very affecting
Yeah.
in like the balance of the different tones, I felt like.
Yep. Yeah. Well, as you read it, where did your song that you wrote for the show come from? Was there a specific part, or how did you approach your songwriting?
Um, so one of the thing that I kind of harped onto is one of the lighter moments, I guess. It's early on in the book after the donkey vice president, which is like
I know.
ridiculous to say out loud. He escapes like his first assassination attempt, and he's holed up with those like renegade dogs,
Hmm.
and he's kind of giving you this like laundry list sort of history of like the revolution, and just he's just like throwing all of this information at you.
Yeah.
And then there's this random aside where he mentions that all the dogs are drinking vodka, and he doesn't like to drink vodka because he lost the love of his life to a peacock, and they used to like drink vodka together. And it's just like that was one of those lines where like I had to go back, and I was like, wait a minute,
I
what
just
what did
read.
I just read? So I don't know. I just thought that was like such a ridiculous,
Yes.
like it's such a provocative sort of
Yes.
sentence. It's like so many different things, like sort of like the interspecies dating. Like I don't know how controversial that is. Like
Yeah.
going from a donkey to a peacock is like such a drastic, like I'm definitely not into this vibe anymore. Like I've moved on to something else.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
and then just from like a sort of like songwriting standpoint, like the idea of like being heartbroken and drinking is such a kind of cliche, that this idea that like he's heartbroken but he can't drink because it just makes him more depressed, I thought was pretty interesting.
Yes.
Um, so that was kind of
Your
my
take.
inspiration.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like this book you can go in a lot of different directions. I'm really curious to hear all the songs on Saturday because
Yeah.
I can imagine there'll be some, yeah, definitely more like satire and kind of inspired by the absurdity. And then I could see it going in the total, corrupt government, you know, I think there's going to be a wide spectrum, which I think will make for a very interesting show for sure.
Yeah, and I think that speaks to kind of the range of the book,
Yeah,
like just the way she balances all those tones, I feel like was really effective for me.
absolutely. Yep. Well, would you be willing to share a little like sneak preview teaser of your song with us today?
Sure. So my friend built this guitar for me that I just got,
Wow.
and I'm very excited about it. So this was the first song I wrote on my new guitar.
How exciting.
Very
Debut.
exciting.
That's awesome.
Um, so the song title I picked was Drinking, and then in parentheses, just reminds me that you're gone.
Okay.
But anyway, I'll play a little bit of it. We were flashy, but we got dull. We're overdue for an overhaul. You know, the truth is that overall I really let you down. The blue birdie just flew right in, got you believing in love again. At least I could say that I knew you when next time you're in town. Then it goes to a chorus, which I'll save.
Oh, I'm already hooked. I want the chorus. Yeah, thank
Well, come on Saturday.
Yes, everyone watching this, come on Saturday, November 18th, Town Hall, Seattle, 7:30 p.m. If you can't make it in person, don't let that stop you from joining us. We live stream the entire event. And you can get tickets from our Instagram, Facebook, website. Come hear the rest of Peter's song and all of the rest of the amazing music that will be sure to come from Glory. Thank you so much, Peter. I can't wait
Thank you, Emily.
Saturday and hear your song.